against the Cowboys, we came in this locker room, I said, it's only preseason, but that's why we play the game. Listen, preseason, and that's why we play the game.
What up, fam? Welcome to First and Faithful. I'm your host, A.A. Ron. In today's video, we're going to do a preview of the Niners-Giants matchup. Go over the injury report, and it is a doozy. Keys to victory, X factors, and my final prediction. But as always, this is the part where I beg and plead, like every other YouTuber, for you to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon. Multiple videos every week. Really appreciate all of your support. And let's get into the preview. Our boys, our Niners, 4-point favorites against the Giants. That's when you consider all the injuries that happened over the season and that happened just last week. It says a lot about the depth of the Niners that they're still 4-point favorites on the road. Pretty impressive. Let's get into some of those injuries. If you did not know, you probably have heard by now. Jimmy Garoppolo is out. Nick Mullens gets the start. George Kittle has also been ruled out. He was practicing on a limited basis during the week, so there was some hope that maybe he would play. I said that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there was no way he was playing, on that turf. If he wasn't, 100%, he wasn't. He's not playing. Simple as that. Dre Greenlaw is out with that thigh contusion he suffered against the Jets. That one is, to me, the biggest blow, outside of obviously Bosa and Kill, but kind of the one that came out of left field that I think is kind of the biggest injury is Dre Greenlaw, who is clearly the Niners' second best linebacker at this point. Dee Ford out with the neck and back injury. He's out indefinitely, and that contract now looks kind of bad. Who knows how many games he'll miss? I imagine it's gonna be another 3, 4, 5. I mean, with a bad back, you just can't mess with that. So who knows when we'll see him back on the field again. Who else? Raheem the Dream Mostert. He is out for at least this week. Might be back next week. On a side note, congratulations to him. Raheem, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but if you are, congratulations on the birth of your child. Many, healthful days coming. Speaking of other running backs, Tevin Coleman, he's out for 3-4 weeks. He's with a knee injury that he suffered against the Jets. Just one after the other here. It might be easier to list who's healthy over who's not. On the Giants side, 2 major injuries. Saquon Barkley out for the whole year of the ACL, and Sterling Shepard is out with turf toe. So 2 big blows to that offense. Let's get to the keys to victory. And for me, the number one key to victory is make it easy for Mullens. And what I mean by that is kind of a twofold thing. One, the O-line needs to step up. They have not played well the last 2 weeks. Last week especially, they did not play well really for Jimmy. And then when Mullens came in, it seemed to get worse. Some of that was on Mullens, but even Trent was getting kind of pushed around. They need to step up big time. Give Mullens the time, let him settle in. And the other big part is establish a running game. McKinnon's going to be asked to do a lot. I imagine Jeff Wilson's going to get a decent amount of play. And JaMycal Hasty has been called up from the practice squad. So kind of a 3-headed beast. Hopefully he can do, a lot of things out of the passing game, on the running game. Just, if they can establish a run, obviously it just makes it so much easier for Nick. When you get in those shorter down and distance, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3s, those kind of things, just makes it easy, not only for Mullens, but for Shanahan calling plays when you have, more of the playbook open to you because it's a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 3. Also opens up the play action passing, right? Those big chunk plays that the Niners, especially last season, were known for off the play action, opens that up for Nick Mullens. Easy completions. So for me, though, that's the key. Make it easy for Mullens. The easier you make it for him, and he's a good backup. I think he's a very, very good backup. But the easier you can make it for him, the easier the game will be in general. On the defensive side, it's the same focus on the same thing, just kind of the opposite end result, and that is to shut down the running game. Giants designed Devontae Freeman to kind of fill the void. Their running game is not good. It actually wasn't doing that great with Saquon, but you got to imagine Freeman's a step down. David Wilson, everybody they have is a step down. So for the Niners, the key is to shut down that running game on first and second down. Same thing I said last week, but especially with Daniel Jones not having Sterling Shepard, just kind of a depleted offense. If you can get them down into second and sevens, third and sevens, those long down the distance, let the pass rushers do what they do. The Deion Jordans, Ziggy Ansahs, the Kerry Hyders, all those guys, let them do what they do, and that's get after the quarterback. Eric Armstead, who had a good game last week, let them get after the quarterback and wreak havoc, but the key is to shut down the offense, the running game on first and second down. If they can do that, it should be, I won't say easy, but I think this will kind of work out like it did against the Jets. And now for some X Factors. And for me, there's four, not in any particular order, but I'll start with Jason Verrett, who was a full participant at practice this week. Witherspoon, obviously Sherman's still on IR. Witherspoon is the other starter outside of Mosley. It'll be very interesting to see what Verrett gives them. I don't think anybody's ever questioned his ability on the field. It's just questioning his ability to get on the field. So it'll be interesting to see, how many snaps he gets. Does he look really good? I wouldn't be surprised, if he comes out looks really good, this week. Maybe he gets to start next week against the Eagles. Sherman won't be back until week 5 against the Dolphins at the earliest. So very interesting. So to give him that little depth piece, a little extra, if Witherspoon comes out this game doesn't look good, have someone who can step in. So for me, it makes him definitely an X factor. Quan Alexander is the other one on defense. With Dre being out, Quan has got to step up. I feel like this season he seems a little slow, and I don't know if he's just not seen. I don't know if it's just not having preseason, so he's just not in the flow of things yet, because there's just no preseason to kind of get it going. But he just seems a touch slow. He seems like a step behind on every play or on a lot of plays. So let's put him in bad positions. He's giving up touchdowns. So I hope that he, hopefully that rust is knocked off, because they're going to really need him to be that, hashtag legendary he always speaks of, hot boys. So hopefully he can take a step up. He's definitely going to be a huge, huge factor in this game. For the offensive side, JaMycal Hasty, we already kind of spoke about him, but what he brings to the table. From all reports, he had a very good camp, and the thought was that the reason he didn't make the squad was because, no preseason to kind of show what he could do, and a lot of teams were going with, familiarity over the unknown, so kind of lost out on that 5th spot to Jeff Wilson Jr., where it's maybe if they had a preseason, he had a chance to ball out, maybe he would have gotten that 5th spot. So, it's going to be his opportunity to really, he's going to get a chance with Coleman out the next, 3-4 weeks. Hasty has a chance to really supplant maybe Coleman if he can really ball out this week, and there's a good chance he'll get a chance next week as well. This is really his chance. For me personally, I'm not a big fan of Coleman. He does good things out of the backfield. He is a good pass catcher. Made a couple great catches and plays against the Jets. For me, that's where Coleman is best. When he's making catches, very good hands. That's what but when he runs, you saw last week, it seems like every carry is like a yard, or he loses a yard. There was such a difference between watching him run and watching Raheem or even Jet McKinnon run. There's just a difference. I don't know what it is. I don't like him back there unless he's catching passes. So hopefully Hasty can replace him if he balls out this week and maybe next week as well. And the last X factor, and this is more of a long shot X factor, right? And it's Dante Pettis. He, Mr. Invisible. And the reason I put him on this list is because when Mullens had to start his 8 games in 2018, him and Pettis seem to have some sort of connection. And Pettis, that was the part, I think, the last 5-6 games where he played extremely well and gave everybody a lot of hope for him going into last season. He's supposed to be the number 1 guy based off of what he did to end the season in 2018. He had a Jimmy G-esque end of the season. And, everybody expected last season he was coming in, he was going to be the number 1 guy. People were expecting huge things out of him. and obviously that didn't materialize. Obviously hasn't materialized this season so far, but it'll be, he again should have opportunities on the field. I mean, they still don't have Debo. Ayuk is still, still a rookie, still working his way in. Who knows how much Sanu, how much play he'll get. I mean, there are opportunities out there. Whether him and Mullens still have that connection, that familiarity connection, I don't know. People said the same thing about Jimmy and Trent Taylor. Hey, they had this great connection before. It's going to carry over into this season. We haven't seen it yet, like at all. So, maybe that was a flash in the pan thing. I don't know. This is why I kind of put him as that kind of extra X factor. He might be that guy that, maybe has a big game because him and Mullens just have that, connection. Who knows? But let's get into my final prediction for the game. I know the Niners are favored by 4. I have the score 27-10. I think this kind of plays out kind of like last week does. The Giants don't scare me on offense, and defensively, they don't, I think if the Niners can get the running game going, like I said, make it easy for Mullens, he's going to have not a huge day, but, somewhere in that mid-2, 250, 260, throws for a touchdown, maybe 2. But I think just being able to see, if the running game gets going, on the offense side and on the defense side, you stop the run, let those, all the new additions, like I said, Deion Jordan, Ziggy Ansah, let them get after Daniel Jones. I just don't. I see the game playing out like last week, where it's just a comfortable game. After pretty much going to the second half last week against the Jets, it just seemed like they weren't challenged at all by the Jets. I kind of see it the same way this time. They get to a nice little lead, maybe 17-3, something like that, and just kind of coast. And that's how I see it. But as always, I've been doing every week. Do not forget to leave your prediction for the score down below in the comments. Like I said, every week I do a giveaway or a contest, if you will. If you predict the score right, it has to be exactly right, not closest, but exactly right. $25 gift card. If we have multiple people guess correctly, I'll go do a randomizer, pull name out of hat, something like that. But definitely do not forget, leave your prediction below in this. Niners 27, Giants 10, whatever your prediction is. I'll take a look through them. Obviously, you have to get them before the game on Sunday. I'll take a look. If anybody hits it, like I said, I'll reach out to you. $25 gift card of your choice, as long as I can send it to you as an e-gift card. You get to pick where it comes from. Amazon, Pornhub. I don't really give a shit. Uber Eats. I don't care. I'll send it to you. But as always, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. This has been First and Faithful. I'm Aaron. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching First and Faithful. Here's another video I think you'll enjoy. Also, don't forget to subscribe. New videos every week. Appreciate all the support.